If we have rice, the rice is not used, we put it in water. In Odisha, it's called panta bhat. Here we call it that, some soru or something. Everybody, all of us, traditionally know how to get into a zero waste type of a situation, or it would be minimal waste. But what has happened over a period of time is Western influence and packaged food, all these things put together, the amount of wastage that we do in terms of both the food as well as non-food has extremely gone up exponentially. For example, just to give you an idea about quick commerce, today, every house has got 10 times more rubbish, which is probably reusable, but the rubbish has gone 10 times, in most of the cities, right? So I would say that we have a serious problem. From an investment lens, we have a due diligence of every investing companies, because I sit in a private equity fund. Our investors in the private equity fund will not invest in any company which is a polluting company. So for us, sustainability is one of the lens under which we look at every business. Is the business aware and conscious that they have to have the best practice in ESG, environment, sustenance and governance. So this is a very important lens. So if any of you want funding, please note this, because this is going to be a red flag because of which you may not get investment. Does this answer your question? So sustainability is very important.
Thank you, sir. So now we will try to hover around the another important aspect. I think more hoteliers will join this conversation. Customers or new generation consumers' perspective towards eco-friendly, zero waste and sustainability, and the price we as restaurateurs, hoteliers, caterers pay. What is the expectation? What is the challenge? What is the solution? If each of you can take a minute and give it. Yeah? Starting from Virendra, sir.
A very good discussion, topic for discussion. Actually, I did a survey in my restaurant, the age group of customers visiting our restaurant. So surprisingly, I could see all are above 35 plus. We are not getting youngsters. Then next 1 week, I asked my friend who's running a restaurant which is 100 years now this year. So I requested him to just do a survey. He also told me that his restaurant is getting customers above 35 years. Then I started visiting the new restaurants which have come up, for example, a few restaurants which are very active on social media. There I see a lot of youngsters going. I believe that youngsters want that vibe, that so that they create reels, they click pictures. That our restaurant is lacking behind. So people who are dependent on eating are coming to old restaurants, and youngsters are choosing newer places. Number one. Number two, again, the cost factor. People who know the value of money are visiting older restaurants, and people who are spending others' money are going to Pizza Hut, McDonald's. That is what I found out. And this is a survey done by myself to understand the age of people who are coming to our restaurants.
I would want to comment on that, but if I do that, I will do injustice to my generation. So I will silently accept and move on.
You also not visit old hotels.
we will skip that. So I think I'm somewhere in between. So I'm somebody who visits older restaurants and take photos there.
We have to visit old and new.
Yes. So I think I'm somewhere in between. Yeah.
To continue on what you said, we've seen this as first-hand experience in our own brand. If you go to Chandni Chowk in Old Delhi today itself, we are operating a dhaba. The same client will come into a dhaba and not expect much out of a lot of things. May that be, the kind of crockery we use, or the kind of ambience we have, or the hygiene we are maintaining. And the same client will go to another Kakitiyati location, which is a fine dine location open in Indranagar, let's say. And the expectation aligned to where the brand has positioned itself. So there's a lot of in how you positioned your brand to the customer aligns with what is expected of you. The packaging, the practices that you're going to be using in the restaurant is a factor of where you want to stand and what you want to portray. Everybody orders food at home, right? When we order from a restaurant where it's an older restaurant and we know how it's going to be, we order for the food. But when we are ordering from a newer restaurant, the entire experience has to be spot on for that restaurant to create recall tomorrow in your mind. From the packaging to the food to maybe a note, like a handwritten note. A lot of things go into it. So I feel one cannot be without the other.
I agree, Ankit, because when a lot of us, including me, when we are advocates of sustainability or when we're talking about minimalistic waste or eco-friendly packaging, for that matter, we will be the people. I'm saying we will be the people who will complain to the restaurants to bring eco-friendly solutions, and we will be the same people who will complain to you when the dosa is not crispy. Right? So I think as customers, we also have some responsibility to make it easy for the hoteliers here and vice versa. As the industry is growing, there are so many options are also coming up. And then I would like to take this question to you, Vinod sir. In a product like spice, right? Finding a balance between eco-friendly packaging and retaining the freshness or the aroma. Is there a possibility? Do you see yourself being there?
No, in eco-friendly packaging, no, we cannot go. We have to go with the market. If we go with eco-friendly, lock. So we have to go with market itself.
So this is a problem and a business opportunity. I think somebody has to take this up, find out eco-friendly packing solutions for the spices industry and a lot of other, dairy, ketchup, liquid industry as well. Sir, I will come to you. You can answer the same question. Expectation, deliverable, where do you see yourself?
Very important thing is that, particularly urban consumers, I have seen this field so many years. They look at branding and environment. It's also like a kind of fashion. Suppose I go to a branded cafe, where they are meeting. They don't come to a usual restaurant. Meeting. They will say, "I'll go to the McDonald's, I'll go to the cafe," like that. And you see that there is nothing sustainable in these cafes. I want to be vocal about this. Food is not sustainable, the energy is not sustainable, the ecosystem is not sustainable. So there are so many things. I will tell you one example. In one of the modern cafes, 3 biscuits cost about 350 rupees. If 2 people go and have biscuits and a coffee, the bill comes around 1,000 rupees. Why they are paying so much money for that? If I come to my restaurant, I sell best food for 300 rupees or 575 rupees my buffet. I give about 30-40 items. People, they respect our food also. But there are people who are going to these kind of restaurants just for the convenience and also as a branding. So most of the big brands, I'm telling, I want to use a word, it's not against anybody. They are selling fake food. It's not a real food. How this food is made, how it is coming, what colors they are using. You go to a big restaurant, a chain of restaurant, the juice is given. It's all colored water. There is no fruit in it. They name it like that. And they are selling for 500 rupees plus taxes. So customers have been cheated, but customers also want these kind of food. That's why brands like us, we want to tell the people that this is not the way of eating food. And you have to respect the food, or whatever it is, our body, mind, soul, in a different way. So we also, of course, want to create a best atmosphere, many things we are trying. But still branding plays very, very important role. That's the really tragedy. How online supermarkets, how much package, everybody, painful to see that kind of package they are selling as service. I know the friends, You're not wearing shoes because of you want to be sustainable. There are some other reasons of selling. It's not like that. The lifestyle is different. So what I say, there should be big consumer awareness about this. Then only things will change. So this is my opinion. You are working on that seriously. So I think, people who work with us like that, we are a vegan food. I know how vegan. Recently, one of the best vegan restaurants has been closed in Bangalore. You know about it? Yeah. See why it is happening. They are serving, that lady is very honest, sincere. Our own building. Now, I was sacrificed my life from last some 20 years for this cause. But where we are standing, why you are not competing with this kind of brands? So this is the question definitely asked, and we can talk about more on that. Thank you.
Thank you. I think thanks to amazing forums like these, because we get to see the real players in the industry, like Sir himself being a pioneer in the industry, and also I think we as customers also have to do very conscious decision between, as I was saying, convenience and cost. We often need to, often we need to incline on the front. We talk about sustainable, eco-friendly and all of that, but end up ordering from a restaurant nearby or whoever gives, food in 10 minutes. So I think we also have that responsibility. Sir, I'll come to you. You told you have a very limited perspective about the food industry, but in general, if you are to look at food industry, what do you think is the area of improvement which the food industry should have, especially something like ESG, things like that?
See, I want to first emphasize the fact that people buy brands. So, and there are a number of different type of people in our country. India is a very large country. So, if you know your customer segment and you focus on that customer segment, then you will have no problems of business. For example, today, most of the restaurants, which are old restaurants also, 50% of their business has shifted online. So we have seen 3,000, 4,000 square feet restaurants also. We go there, it's empty. But they are doing business, most of the business has shifted online. So who are the people who are buying online? It's not only the youngsters, it's also the other people. Other than the youngsters, people are buying because the objective of the business or the brand is to make you lazy. And also when you come to the store, you have to pay a premium because you're getting a different experience there. So I would say that the market is changing very rapidly and it's very interesting to see the market. At the same time, like South Indian restaurants, I've seen some brilliant brands in Bangalore and other places which serve food at a very, very affordable price. And you see, they have the highest number of online and offline orders. Why? Because their price is so attractive. People who, even mothers, go there, buy the tiffin for the children and give it. So there is a huge shift in the market. If you can offer clean food at an affordable price, there is no dearth of market in India for any food. You talk about biryani, you talk about pizza, you talk about anything. The food has to be clean. Now, what do we mean by clean food? Clean food means your kitchens are very, very clean. You are using best practices in terms of water, in terms of sanitation, in terms of packaging. I do agree that there are many things which is not possible to do sustainable packaging because the supply chain is meant like that. We don't have inventions which can do sustainable packaging, but it's happening. Today we have many sustainable packaging products which can carry products like spices and other things without losing any of their basic qualities. So I would say that we are in a changing marketplace which is very rapidly changing. Technology is also moving very fast. So you must understand who is your customer and based on that you must serve. There are 10% of Gen Zs who are very conscious about the environment. They don't buy anything, which is a polluting type of a thing. There are many people who will not enter some of the best brands in the country, which we call as best brands. They'll go only to places which have got sustainable. In fact, there are youngsters who only drink sustainable coffee which is produced sustainably, and it's very good to see such youngsters that they are very conscious about the environment. So say that in India being a very large country, we cannot have one formula fits all. So everybody based on what they are targeting, what they are doing, they have to change. Even for 300-year or third generation hotels, I do see a phenomenal opportunity, right? Only thing is Do you want to move with the market, or you want to, create your own attraction so that customers come to you? That is a challenge with the next generation faces all the time, because their parents or other uncles who also are part of the business, they wouldn't allow them to do. They say, no, this is a tradition which is going on for 200 years. We will not allow you to change. So this problem I have seen with many traditional brands, where the next generation wants to at least experiment and make some changes, but the old generation, does not allow them to do. And what happens is slowly the business starts. That is one of the biggest businesses have got. I've seen this in Gujarat, I've seen this in many places. So it's a challenge. It's, as he rightly said, it's very tough for these people to manage the brand at the same time preserve the heritage. So it's a very, very tough job of, changing yourself in this moving market and holding on to your heritage. So I would say that it's a very complex task. So from my side, I would say that all of you need to focus on your customer, understand your customer better, interact with your customers more frequently, and understand that online and offline have to coexist. They cannot be, it cannot be just one way or the other. Because if you're just going to be offline, then you really need to have a very strong value proposition, because of which people will come to your place, and you will be able to grow your business month on month or year on year. That's all I have to say.
So, Jairam sir would like to add something.
Yeah, I want to define the clean food.